Thank you for the conversation.
I'd like to talk about your shirt, though.
I would not like to talk about that.
Okay, well, the fact that the entire Black Lives Matter movement is built on factually incorrect and in identity politics try to separate America, would love to have a conversation about it, but it's good because your friend's wearing the same shirt, so we could talk about that. So.
Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Vibrate Precious. Hi guys, today hope you guys are feeling very good. So guys, today I'm back with another reaction, and I'm going to be reacting to Charlie Kirk triggers BLM Clad white liberal. Okay, let's see what's all about. Let's get right into it, guys.
Life expectancy has increased over time, which we would expect. But for one group, since 2000s up until now, life expectancy has actually decreased. This is middle-aged white men. The reason for this is actually mostly self-induced.
Sure, so life expectancy has nearly doubled since 1900.
No, I'm talking about specifically for white men since 2000
correct. So if
who
you
are
could
middle-aged.
let me finish the sentence without getting 6 words into it, I let you talk about whatever you wanted to talk about. The byproduct of why white men are having lower life expectancy since 2000 is self-induced.
You slow down. I'm sorry.
Am I talking too fast for you?
Yes, you are actually.
Okay, then I'll slow down. It is self-induced, meaning they are making bad choices. So America's a wonderful country because if you make good choices, you get rewarded, and if you make bad choices, you have bad things happen to you. So let me ask you a question. What is the primary cause of death for middle-aged white men?
No, so my question...
No, answer the question because you're a subject matter expert on this.
I know, that's what I was going to say. Can you clarify? You said the reason that this issue is that they are making bad choices.
So what is the primary...
This is the entire population of middle-aged white men.
Right, so if you can answer my question, since you're a subject matter expert at it, what is the primary cause of death for middle-aged white men?
Cancer or heart disease.
Heart disease. What is the
heart disease. Everyone heard you say it.
What is the #1 reason for heart disease?
Okay, so let's move along from that.
So are facts something you don't want to talk about tonight?
I am talking about facts, and what I was asking you is life expectancy for middle-aged men has decreased since 2000. This is a fact.
This is heart disease, which is a byproduct.
No, I just said this study showed the reason life expectancy has decreased is attributed to, I agreed with you, those are the main causes of death, but the reason that life expectancy has decreased since 2000 is because of self-induced harm. And all I was saying is you made a claim that life expectancy has increased. It hasn't. And for this group, that is mainly the demographic that is interested in you.
What was life expectancy in 1900?
What did you say? I'm sorry.
What was life expectancy in 1900?
Much lower. So it's increased exponentially over time. It has for every group. But then at 2000, there was a change. In 2000, there was a change.
Right.
And for men, they started to decrease.
It was a byproduct of surpluses and having food everywhere at all times.
It has nothing to do with obesity. This is self-induced harm that is causing this.
So let's walk through this. What is the #1 cause of death for middle-aged white men?
That's not what I'm talking about. So I have another thing to say.
Heart disease. What is the #1 precursor for heart disease?
So I think we've both made whatever point we wanted to make. So can I ask
I'm still trying to figure out yours, but yes, please do.
That's okay. So my second question is...
And I would like to get to your shirt at some point too, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's a Black Lives Matter shirt. I feel like we are unable to have any sort of actual conversation, which is not what I came here thinking.
You are entitled to your own opinion. You are not entitled to your own facts.
These are not my own facts. I could provide studies and citations for everything I've said tonight. I haven't heard you do that.
I mean, everything, you can easily reference everything.
You said things that I know are factually wrong. This is coming from research.
Name one.
That life expectancy has increased for every group in America.
Since 1900, which is what I said.
Well, since 2000, it has not increased for white men.
Because they're making bad choices. Heart disease is the #1 killer of middle-aged white men. What causes heart disease? Overeating, sedentary lifestyle, not working out, indulging in alcohol, and drugs too much, which is a byproduct of our amazing surpluses made possible by the free market system. You know what the #1 cause of death in Venezuela is? Starvation. I would rather have a culture where we're trying to have people join gym memberships in a New Year resolution, not eat zoo animals.
Thank you for the conversation.
I'd like to talk about your shirt, though.
I would not like to talk about that.
Okay, well, the fact that the entire Black Lives Matter movement is built on factually incorrect and in identity politics try to separate America, would love to have a conversation about it, but it's good because your friend's wearing the same shirt, so we could talk about that. So, thank you for being here tonight. I mean that sincerely, but go ahead.
What do you think socialism is? Because I think you're misunderstood.
Socialism is what I see, which is the implementation of totalitarian control on the means of the best interest of people under the guise of the failed doctrine of Marx and Engels.
That's wrong.
Just because you say it wrong doesn't make you right.
Just because you say I'm wrong doesn't make you right.
No, it actually does, because everywhere socialism has been implemented, you've seen catastrophic human deaths.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know what socialism is.
Well, what makes you a subject matter expert on the 100 million people that have died?
Are you
over?
a subject matter expert on that?
I actually am.
Are you?
Yes.
Do you have a degree in it?
Just because you have a degree doesn't mean you know more than other people.
Do you do research on it?
Plenty, more than you.
Do you?
Yeah, let's talk about socialism and communism, because I can name all 75 failed Marxist examples on 5 continents over worker
I think you're misunderstood as to what Marxism is.
So give me one example of where Marxism has been implemented successfully.
Socialism is worker, not government.
Okay, so give me one example of where that exists.
It doesn't exist right now.
No, you're wrong, actually, because in America, over 4 million people work in employee-owned companies. So the very model
that's not a
they
country.
own the means of production. Yes,
no,
they own the company.
that's not a country based on socialist principles.
No, you're right. It's actually a free market country that allows your worldview to be implemented successfully and peacefully. So Publix, the largest grocery store in America, is employee-owned.
That's not socialism.
But you just said it's workers owning the means of production.
Yeah, in an entire
So you want to force that upon someone else,
No,
correct?
I don't.
So what if
I'm actually an anarchist.
So let's talk about this. Let's talk about it, though. So, it's okay. It's okay. She came here tonight. It's fine. So
Capitalism is antagonistic to anarchism, by the way.
Is anti what?
Is antagonistic. Can you hear me? Antagonistic to anarchism.
So you're an anarchist that is saying good things about socialism.
Yeah, because I believe in the communal ability of people to work together to come to the best.
So you have a lot of problems with the current system, right?
Basing an entire economic system on capital, on wealth, is not the best for each person in the world.
So you would want to live in a communal society, essentially, right? So why don't you go live like the Amish right now and go do it, because they live in a communal society?
That's not the point.
No, the point is you're advocating for a governmental worldview. I'm never going to tell you how to live your life. Why are you telling me how to live mine?
I'm not arguing for a governmental
You're arguing for a lack thereof one, which is one.
No.
Then why don't you go live like an anarchist off the grid? Why are you telling me how to live my life?
That's not off the grid. Anarchism isn't off the grid.
Well, why don't you go live like an anarchist right now?
Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm living by anarchist principles within a capitalist society, which means I'm fighting for anarchist principles.
So you're cool with a capitalist society because I'm allowing you to live like an anarchist.
No.
But then, hold on. So why do you want to tell me how to live?
I'm not telling you how to live.
Are you? So you're okay?
You're telling me how to live. I'm not telling you.
You're okay with me to have 3 houses and 6 yachts?
I don't think that's very cool, but.
Not cool, but you want to take them away from me?
No, I didn't say that.
So you'd be okay with me having $1 billion?
No.
So you're okay with? So then, what's wrong with the current system we live in again?
It is not based on the best outcome for each person. It's based on the wealthy getting wealth off of making the poorer poor.
Just because someone gets rich doesn't mean someone gets poor.
Yes, it does.
Explain that to me.
In this society, it does.
Explain that to me. When you bought your hat, who got poor?
The people who made the hat.
They voluntarily contributed their labor and they got paid for it.
No, they did not.
They didn't?
There's workers in other countries who are enslaved to make things that I'm wearing right now.
Then why would you buy it?
Because there's no other options in our capitalist country. There are no other options in our capitalist country.
That's totally and factually incorrect. Make your own clothes.
There aren't very many options for that.
Well, so what you're trying to say is you outsource your goods and services in a capital voluntary because you don't want to spend the time to go make your own clothes. No, what I'm trying to say is you're making the argument for you. I don't make my own clothes because I'm happy that someone in Southeast Asia gets a job so that I don't have to go make my own clothes. I'm actually really happy about that. Restate your question. Restate the question.
And then they burn alive in factories for making your clothes?
I'm really happy that Southeast Asia is experiencing an economic renaissance, so I don't have to go make my own clothes. In fact, some of these clothes are made in Italy because they're quite expensive.
So you're happy that people burn alive in factories so you can buy your clothes for cheaper?
I think that's a wonderful thing.
Okay, you're happy that people burn alive in factories. That's what you just said. Thank you.
Thank you for your feeling-induced emotional argument, and henceforth, we prove it again.
Guys, honestly speaking, it was a hell of a roller coaster in there. Like, I felt like I was inside there. Like, I could feel the heat of the argument and everything. Okay, well, first, let's start with the last argument, like the very last argument. Okay, so I get what the woman is saying, but that's just how the world is. Okay, And I understand what she's trying to say by the wealthy is getting wealthier and the poor is getting poorer. I get, do you understand? Like, I understand where she's coming from. I don't have the basic example, I don't have the best example, but I understand what she's saying. But that's just how the world works. One person has to do something for the other person to be able to benefit from it, and they get their money. Because when he asked her, like, when you bought your dresses, did it make the person poorer or did it make the person richer? And she said it made the person richer. I know she said it made the person poorer, and he tried to ask her like in what way, and she was saying people who produce the dresses are enslaved and blah blah blah. It's not anybody's fault like they're being enslaved, and that's why you see we are trying to fight that corruption of not slaving anyone to do anything for anybody. Like, you get paid for whatever you do, you get a commission for whatever you do. And it's not like she's just trying to feel like the world should have more like a balance. Nobody should be wealthier than any other person, but that's not how it is. Like, everybody needs to be everybody for the world to revolve. We need to have the rich, we need to have the poor, we need to have the bad, we need to have the good for the world to revolve. Because if everybody is the same, the world is not going to revolve. Trust me. And I'm sure you all understand what I'm trying to say. Like, I guess she's agitated and she doesn't like what is going on in the world. Like, the poor people, I understand. Like, it's crazy, but there's nothing we can do about it. We can just try to beg our leaders to control it. There's hunger everywhere, but I feel like the slavery part is reduced right now. Like, I don't really think like people are being really slaved as much as they used to be back then. Like, everybody truly work for their money these days. Like, no matter what you do, even those who produce bread earn money for opening a bakery. They pay their customers, they pay their workers. The workers go home, pay the fees, pay their house rent. So everybody's just fighting over a way to live better. And if they're able to get something that's gonna make them become richer or better, they try to do it, you understand? So that's just basically it. We've come to the end of today's reaction. Don't forget to like the video, comment, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.